All right, let's get right into audience questions for the week. I understand what is on people's minds, and it explains why these are the questions I've gotten. First one is, hey, David, what is the longest that the United States can realistically stay shut down because of coronavirus? So I'm going to answer the question as asked, but please understand that we never really shut down to the degree that Europe did. And when you look at, 4.8% GDP decline in Q1, that's a lot. That's crazy. But that's an economy that's mostly still open. Now, okay, the shutdowns didn't start until March. If we have a 20% decline in Q2, April, May, June, that is crazy. That's a crazy, but consider that that still means 80% of the economy is still up and running. So compared to Europe, the United States restrictions have been really light. The stay home orders have been put in place in a number of states. Essential stores are still open for the most part, all grocery stores, hardware stores. In Massachusetts, restaurants remained open for takeout. People could go around not wearing masks outdoors and even indoors for a long time. You could go wherever you want. Parks were open. Some places have had to close parks because of people gathering. A lot of beaches remained open as long as people weren't on top of each other. In Italy, just this week, people started to be allowed to go more than 200 meters from their house, or I think in Spain it was 500 meters. We never had that in the United States, even in the strictest situations, wherever. I don't know if we would consider Michigan to have been the strictest or whatnot, but we were never really fully shut down. And a lot of what we saw in the US is really a city versus suburb, rural distinction, because I've been in Boston. Restaurants remained open for takeout, but the streets are quite empty. There's like very little traffic going places. So certainly the more urban areas of the city seem noticeably empty, but a lot of the basics stayed open the entire time. Suburbs may not even have been as dramatically different. It's hard for me to say for sure. So the answers in terms of how much longer can we stay, quote, shut down. It's very clear that there is not a lot of political appetite, even in the more liberal states, to stay shut even a single day longer than public health officials say that we should. So I think we're increasingly going to start seeing two tiers. We're going to start to see places that had early hotspots and took it very seriously. New York and Massachusetts and California are the ones I'm most familiar with, that in the next 2 weeks to 4 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, are going to be able to start opening some things with caution, still with masks indoors, outdoors when you can't social distance, but there will be some opening up more than likely. Manufacturing hopefully can start to come back with people wearing masks and distancing in factories, etc. The governors will sort of figure it out. The problem is that we are starting to see rapidly rising cases in places like Florida, Georgia, Texas, and there are others, although I don't have the numbers readily sort of in my mind. And on a percentage basis, they are seeing faster and faster increases in cases. They're not going to be able to open up, or if they do, it is going to be significantly tragic, significantly tragic. So you have some states starting to say, we're going to start running out of unemployment insurance money. That's going to be pressure, especially for Republican governors who are very concerned with debt in this abstract sense, to try to open up. The saddest part about all of it, and ultimately these are decisions that governors will have to make, and the answer is many of them are going to start opening some things in the next 2 to 3 weeks. Sadly, if on March 5th, when we had over 200 cases, Trump had said from the federal government, I need all 50 governors to do a shelter in place, stay-at-home order. If we had done that on March 5th, we would be in really good shape right now. That's what we're seeing in other countries. South Korea took care of things despite having their first case at the same time we did. And that is the really lost opportunity that there's no way to go back and undo at this point in time.